You back, George?
Yep.
Oh shit, I didn't know. I'm just sitting here. Hi.
I sent Africa the new link. We can see if she come up. But but a lot of a lot of what I was saying previously was that
Yeah, we was just talking, and I didn't see a comment or nothing. And I looked at things, so we had been disconnected.
oh really?
Yeah,
Well,
man, they ain't catch nothing. Okay, here we
uh
go. Here we
yeah,
go.
stream y'all acting funny with me tonight. So
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it cut me off, bro.
yeah, what I was saying that that money will come and go. I mean when the topic came up, I'm in a relationship. When we get tops for the show, I run them past my girlfriend just see what she think. Just see,
Right, right. I
make
mean,
sure.
that's what we all do.
Yeah, make sure I don't say the wrong thing. But her thing was like, it's love because money comes and goes.
True. And just like I said, I don't know if you were still on here because last week you had to go. Um, I was explaining to them just like I explained when the young lady was on, and she was saying what she was saying. I'm like, that's not a requirement.
Nah,
Um,
son.
you making $100,000 and you having a Spelman degree is not a
Something
necessity
that
to be in
yeah,
a relationship with me.
it's not something that most men really gonna take into consideration if they're gonna want you as a wife or not. They're
Yeah,
not
but
gonna not
but
miss.
you heard her say the men today are
Mhm.
like, what are you bringing to the table? But
Yeah, but they not necessarily talking about your finances. They talking about you as a woman.
well,
What can you do for them?
if you was here, she's more talking about they was talking about her finance. So she's trying to get her
Well, I
education
mean,
right. She want her
what they
finances.
but D, here's the thing. What the hell they expect? Women been coming at men for years about what kind of job you got, and now the men starting to do it to them. Now it's a problem. Now you got men saying, "Wait, how much? Like I make 50,000. What you make 20? No, I can't mess with you." Now you got men doing it, men being more selective, and it's like now that men are starting to show self interest and take care of themselves, all of a sudden we toxic.
I'm
All
gonna
of a
tell you how
sudden we
I see
this.
that. I'm gonna tell you how I see that. I'll tell you how I see that. If a man asking a woman what she brings to the table as far as finances, okay, apparently, like you said when she said that, he ain't feeling her.
Right.
You know
Because
what
a
I'm
man
saying?
know
You say
a
apparently
man
you
know what he
lack
brings to the
something
table.
that make him want to take care of you, make him
Right.
want to be with you.
If he has to ask you that, oh, you bad off right there.
And it's kind of
If
like,
a man has to ask you, what do you bring to me, and he don't know it, and he don't feel it, oh, you on a sinking ship anyway.
yeah. So that's how I saw it when that came about. I was like, it was just so much. Once you go back and watch the replay, and I was like, okay, so that's basically mean this guy is telling you you have to have something else because he's not feeling whether your looks, whether he's not emotionally into you, he's not feeling you. And so for you to even accept that and say, "Oh, I got to go get my education up. I got to make sure I got to make sure my bank account is straight before I step out here in this real world and find me a man." That means you have esteem issues to me.
Well, a lot of these women I'm pissing people off when I say this.
Hey, this is
I'm a
real.
guy. I got to say some. Some women that are all career minded like that and all this stuff, it's because they can't find a relationship anyway. So what else they got? So they figure, hell, I can't find a man worth a damn. I might as well sink everything to my education, go into debt, and try to make some money. That becomes their value because they're not
Yeah,
well enough or healed enough to be in a
right.
relationship. So they use their career as a surrogate for what it is they really want.
And women and men alike that leads with their education and their accolades just to get in a conversation or to feel like they're worthy. they have some self-esteem issues.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what I used to do. When I used to meet somebody, man, I would leave with who I was, man, CEO, public campaign managers. But in this relationship, you know what I live with? I live with, hey, I'm George, how are you? I didn't talk about nothing I did. I didn't talk about no place I've been. I just lived with me, and it went different. And I realized it's just like you said, because previously I had self-esteem issues. I didn't feel like I was enough as a person. Until so I bloviated, I added things, I talked about what I did instead of who I was, and that's what a lot of these people do, not just the women but the men. So I find a lot of women, you know, you meet them, first thing out the mouth is where the degree from. That's the last thing I care about. I'm trying to get to know you as a person. You can have all the degrees in the world and be a dummy.
See, that came with growth,
right? Because
back in the day, you had to kind of have something going for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never forget. I was it was this I guess he was like a deacon, big time something at the church. And I'm a DJ, you know, straight A student, honor roll, principals list, everything. Family got money, but I chose to break away from the chain and and I wanted to be in the streets. I got me a chain around my neck with the Volkswagen symbol. I'm doing my thing, right? Mm-hmm. And so, and this guy, his daughter was interested in me. So, she wanted me to meet her mom. Okay, so I went over, I met the mom. Mm-hmm. Mom and I, you know, cool. She knew my folks. Think she went to school with moms or whatever. So everything was cool. And then I was over there one day and Pops was supposed to be at work. He popped up. You know, the mom was cool. I come over, we sit in the living room. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm just the most proper. Oh, no, ma'am. You know, I'm that. You know, they church people. And so when the dad saw me though, you know, so you the DJ, you know. So he was like, the DJ ain't, you know, he don't supposed to be this and that because he was judging the image. Because, you know, I'm into the Run DMCs, the Beastie Boys. I'm doing my thing, you know what I'm saying? I got my Kango on, I got my Adidas, you know, well. And so he didn't like the image for his daughter, you know what I'm saying? But my style of dress didn't mess with my intellect, nor who my folks are. But that's just how I chose to express myself. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I was neat. It's just that I wasn't walking around there in a button-up shirt and a tie and some tight dickies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I had my Levi's on. I had my Adidas shirt, my Kango, and my Dookie rope chain. You know what I'm saying? So and my Guess watch, or I would what was the other watch that was popular back then? But yeah, I had whatever was hip on the streets. So back in the day, you had to present yourself as if you had something going on.
Right.
So when he dug into my background, found out who my folks was, he was close friends with the principal at the high school I went to, and he found out, hey, this guy's hangs with this person, he hangs with that person. I know his parents. He's not a hood guy, you know. He is in that. So when we stepped out there, we felt like we had to lead with accomplishments.
Right.
What we had, yes. You know, I graduated 3.7. You know, grade point average, GPA. College, I was on the dean's list twice, and you know, you had to lead with all that. I currently working here at. You know, but when you're comfortable with yourself, none of that matters. And I never had esteem issues, never, because my parents instilled in me at 5 years old that I was somebody, you know.
Right.
And welcome back, AJ. We was experiencing technical difficulties earlier. We just on here giving all this knowledge, and for some reason, StreamYard had us off. Wasn't live, and I kept seeing recorded, you know, stream ended, and I was like, let me go see, because we giving out too much knowledge for us not to be on a live stream. So welcome back, everybody. Do apologize for that technical difficulties earlier, but we are back. So share and tag your people. But yeah, so when it comes to that question, and their folks had some money, but my folk had more money than he had. So when he figured out who I was and who my people was, his attitude changed. So
it was all of a sudden okay for you to date his daughter.
it was okay, you know. But he still kind of turned the side eye because he wanted her with one of the boys from the church, and I wasn't no church boy. I didn't do the church thing like that. You know, I did it because mom made me, but when I got of age and they started letting me make my decisions, well, no, I ain't going to church today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, I wasn't into the church, and she tried to invite me to go to her church, and I didn't feel the daddy's vibe, and they wanted me to ride with him, and you know, and I'm like, I'm not going to be uncomfortable, so I'm straight on that. And needless to say, I went to college. She was like 2 years under me. So I ended up going to college, and I think I left the college. She started going into the same college I went to, but I had left and went to Jackson State by the time she went where I was going. So we ended up kind of missing each other. It was a hit and miss, a call here, call there, and college took over. So, but leading with accolades is what I felt like I had to do to impress her father. You know what I'm saying? But
well, people still do that to this day. They still think that
that's what George was saying that he used to do. And I said, I believe those are esteem issues, just like
they were. Those were my self-esteem issues, because at that time I felt like I was not good enough just to present myself. I had to present a bunch of stuff I had done. And in this relationship I'm in now, I didn't do that. I lived with who I was as a person, and it made a difference.
And that's much better. That's much better. And I don't know, but I had a lot of people that I knew from school that would come to the reunions and rented vehicles and try to make people think it's theirs. They talking all proper. They wearing this, that. Man, I walk up in there, Adidas on, what's up, what it is, what's happening, if I'm not DJing it. But I really don't go to them unless I'm DJing. And it's like, who are you trying to impress and why?
Yeah.
They go rent rims, put them on their vehicles just to come in town to try to impress for the class reunion. It's not worth it. Just be yourself. It ain't even about that. You know what I'm saying? And just like I say, as a DJ that's current and still relevant, I have to wear nice kicks. I have to wear, well, really now that t-shirts and jeans are out, but I would usually wear like a shirt with my logo or something on it. But I still have to have some nice kicks. I can't walk in there in those Shacks from Walmart. So my shoes gonna be on point. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're J's, whether they're Adidas, I really don't care for Nike. The regular Nike, they hurt my feet. They like made for another breed. My feet kind of.
Let me ask this question: the people that sit up there and lead with their accolades and lead with their accomplishment, you obviously not lead with who you are. What are you afraid of that person seeing in you that keeps you from showing who you really are?
I think it's more they want to feel important.
Right.
They want to feel themselves like I am somebody. I got 8 degrees. You know what I'm saying? I've been to 4 universities. I have 3 doctrines. But I'm like, what does that do for me?
Right.
How does your accolade benefit me? Unless we're going in business together and I can use your expertise on something, but hell, with YouTube and Google out there.
Well, that goes back to the marriage being a business contract. If it's for business sake, then possibly, because that's what you're doing. You running down your resume, and you getting married for business. So if you get married for business,
right,
and it's a contract, then your accolades matter.
Right. Right.
But
If you ain't in
let
for
me tell you
love,
what
it's
I
on.
learned about that. Let me tell you about those who get into these relationships for business. Like Austin say all the time when he's on here, him and his last divorcee relationship, they look good on paper, but they couldn't stand each other. I'm not gonna live like that.
Mm-mm.
So number
Yeah.
one, I'm gonna make sure DJ Black can take care of DJ Black. I don't care what AJ making. I don't care what the one across the street. I don't care what the girl I was gonna mess with next week making. I could give a. But once you're in, I don't mess with many people. So when you're in my cipher and you make it into my life, I'm gonna see where we can go with business. And if it's nowhere with you, I got plenty of other associates that I can make this business happen where you still can eat. I'm just
Yeah.
cut from a different cloth. You
Right.
don't have. I don't need all of that. I'm gonna make sure I can take care of me and us, and whatever you bring is an addition. All that marriage for a business, people don't like each other. It's a lot of infidelity.
Yeah.
That's why it's so much divorcing and breakups in that business arrangement, because every now and then she gonna want some affection.
Right.
Every now and then he's gonna need some emotional support. And when they're not getting it from their mate because it's business and we look good on paper and we have between the two of us, we $250,000 couple, but the sex is lousy. I can't stand to be in the same room with them, and that's why they messing with the guys who can't rub two nickels together because they sex good.
Really?
You know,
It
you
all
got to look
depends.
at that too when you holler a business, and it's a business, a contract. Yeah, you got to look at all that too.
Yeah, you
That's
gotta
why I
ask, but you gotta ask yourself what it is that you really want out of the relationship. Are you looking for something more fiduciary? That's fine, but do that. But like for me, I'm looking for emotional support and
see what I'm
peace.
saying?
That's it. Everything else is it can come and
That'll
go,
be
can be built
added.
upon, can be cultivated. But if I got love, trust, transparency, peace,
Yeah,
respect,
stuff that
I'm
I can't
good.
get. I got money. I know how to get money.
Right.
Peace this out.
Money over love. That's what you're telling me.
Absolutely. I'll take money
How
over
you
love
feel about
any
that?
day. Any
I
day.
mean, it depends on the
He's
situation.
gonna take money over love too.
I'm
talking about not you.
gonna take money
Yeah,
over
me
love.
too. Because I'm a
course.
man, but I'm talking about for a relationship of a,
But we got to really break that down because we really talking about things that aren't really. That we saying a word that really means nothing. That most people don't even. You be talking about love.
Right.
Come on now. Most
Break
of
that
these
love
women,
down.
Most of these women don't have. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story. Right. All right. So make it quick. It's a long story.
It's all right.
So it was a dude. Right. He writes books. His publisher came to him. He said, "I want you to write me a story about true love, the truest love there's ever been." He said, "All right." He wrote it in an hour. Put it on his desk. He read the story. He said, a woman came home crying profusely to her husband. She said, "I fell in love with another man, and I can't live without him." Her husband looked at her, smiled, gave her a kiss and a hug, and said, "I want you to be happy." He slammed the paper down on the desk. He said, "What is this?" I said, "I wanted you to tell me a story about true love." And he said, "This is a story about true love because true love isn't jealousy. True love isn't possession. True love is I want you to be happy no matter who you're happy with." Nobody in a relationship knows what true love is. True love is what your mother has for her son. Doesn't matter who he's with, as long as he's happy. You're not going to say that to your boyfriend. You're not going to say that to your husband. So when we talk about love, we're not even talking about real love. So if we're talking about money over what everybody says love is, I'm going to take the money because it ain't real love anyway.
I ain't gonna
And
say
so
all that. I ain't
he
gonna
don't
say all
believe
that.
in true love.
Yeah, he was a bad person to ask anyway. You know what I'm
Yeah, he
saying?
had been through something. But George, that's how bitter you was in the beginning. That's why I played that.
But
I
but
thought
here's
about you.
yeah, in
I
a
thought
way,
about you because you was like what people say love is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but
And,
it's not. But see, he was kind of making like love don't exist. I never
yeah,
said love
now
exists.
he ended it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he ended
Now,
it like that. That's where I tend to kind of disagree with him. I see what he's saying to a point, but you can tell the brother to been through some things.
right. Now watch this here about business. He go, and AJ love that business crap. But peep this out, AJ.
No,
That's why
George.
relationships don't work no more. Don't nobody stay together that long no more.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because it's a money thing.
Yeah.
It's all about money. What he been doing for me or what he do for me or
Right.
what you got. Bitch, Listen, that ain't how this shit supposed to start. I don't care how much money God blesses you with. And I love women, bro, and I know we ain't nothing without a female.
Facts.
But bro, you can't keep letting them think that they run shit. Bitch, you don't run nothing. We can't keep being scared, bro. Paying bills for no reason. Buying bags and all this shit cost $4,000-$5,000. Bitch, if you want it, you buy it.
Yeah.
Period. But if you a good girl and you deserve certain shit, hey, niggas ain't saying, cause you got to look out.
But you got guys out here buying that kind of stuff, Jody. I mean, that's where the problem is. I don't think it's the women.
Certain women, bro, they was born to be a certain type of way. Period. Like if you come from a certain background, you are a certain kind of woman. You know what I mean? That's what make them different. You got tricks who give money to bitches and they gonna take it, but you also got women who not finna take that.
Right.
Offering money makes you look lame.
And I know AJ ready to run them out. But before that, I got to play some from our sponsors. They helping keep StreamYard going. So hold on.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure, and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
All righty. Airline for low fares, call that number that was on there. That's one of our sponsors. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what's up.
now, AJ, it seems like you're a fond person of marrying for business. And, and since 2020, everybody want to throw that word business around. So break down the pros of what you feel like is good about being in a relationship for business.
I was more or less being a devil's advocate when I said that, because George and I were talking, and when we broke down the topic of love or money, I said if you're marrying for business, then it is about the money, you know. But as far as the tip goes, I've been in situations where men have wanted to give, and my conscience wouldn't let me take advantage of a person like that, you know.
Right.
I just couldn't see myself doing that. But don't get me wrong, I like gifts, but I'm not gonna go in with my hand out or looking, trying to see what I can get off of somebody.
Right.
That's not my angle. But people do marry for business. They marry because it looks good on paper. We look good on paper, and
then she screwing little Johnny and he messing with Mary.
Well,
could possibly be. Or let's say one of them gets ill or sick and can't make the money like they used to.
That love ain't there. That love ain't there. Then they break up because the love is not there. I feel like in any relationship, there has to be some type, especially when you're dealing with male, female, or making a unit. There has to be some type of love as a foundation.
Right.
Because if I'm just with you because you got money, I know me. I like to be comfortable wherever I'm at. And if I don't like you and I got to be with you because we look good on paper and you're half of what you make help me maintain half of what I'm contributing to, I don't want to live like that without love. Now, if it's love and they with you when you up, they with you when you're down. So that's the difference. I'd rather be with somebody who love me and we build together. So that's what that. Welcome to car. Hold on. That's what that picture was. So the and like I said, so many things in this one. Okay. The 55K love is where you building with the person. You guys are building together. So let's just say she make 40,000. You got 55, or let's just say you 60 and she makes 40 or whatever. Or both of you all make 55, 60,000 a year. But you're building. You're getting in that. You guys come together, you build, you grow together, everything is there. Now, that 100K that these women saying they look for, which, by the way, only 6% of men making that. So I don't know why this TikTok and YouTube and Facebook got these women running around here hollering about some 6 figures, you know, when they
Because
barely
they
make
watching they watching social media, they watching all these reality shows, and their sense of money is all messed up. One thing I was saying, we were cut off. I was talking about money and the fact we don't understand money. We basing whole relationships on money. Black folks were conditioned not to understand money. We don't understand finance and credit. We weren't taught about stuff like that. We weren't taught about build generational wealth. So how you gonna base a relationship on something you don't even understand fully anyway?
because they know that they don't keep up with the Jones. They
No,
want
they
the
just want
car,
stuff. When it
the
comes down
neighbors
to it,
got.
but
They
when it
want the
come
car.
down,
They the Ross sisters. They frat brothers have. They want
you
to
know what it come
outdo
down
the
to? You know what it
competition.
come down to? You know what it come down to? Bullshit. Basically, that's it. People just want to have a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of toys, a bunch of stuff to try to show off that they better than somebody else. It ain't these folks ain't out here talking about I want a man that owns 50 acres of land and owns some stocks and investments. No, they want bags and trips and stuff that's frivolous. You do that after you got your foundation, after you got your wealth. You don't do that when you making 100,000 a year. No, folks don't understand money. So how the hell you gonna base a relationship on something you have no real concrete concept of in the first place? It's different kinds of money. You can be rich and wealthy, but you can be nigga rich too. And it's like this what a lot of them going for.
I agree.
You know, I'm planning on buying land. I'm planning on investing. I ain't trying to buy no rims. I ain't trying to do that because here's the thing.
Or rent some rims at that.
Yeah, I ain't trying to rent no rims and do nothing because I'm trying to do things that's gonna make money for me. I'm trying to invest in things that's gonna provide me passive and residual income. I'm trying to build wealth. I ain't, if a woman thinking I'm gonna buy her a Coach bag, I might, but hell, I'm gonna try to buy an acre of land with that money. Something that if something happened to me, you got land, you got something like this, you got some wealth, you got something real, you got something substantial. But these people want to live like 12-year-olds and go get the biggest, flashiest thing they can see to show off to their friends. And that's real immature thinking. And it goes back to low self-esteem. You don't value yourself enough to understand that materialism and money is not equal to your character and your integrity. That's what a man look for in a woman: character and integrity. Not what degree she got, not how much money she make. And if you're looking at that, then he looking at her for the wrong reason.
The wrong reasons. He ain't feeling it like George said. It's something about it. And then whether y'all like old school, don't you say back in the day, but back in the day, the men wanted to take care of them women. They seen who they like and they volunteered, I'm gonna take care of you. Let me take care of you.
You got to remember back then though, D. Back then, it was a time where men could get a job at a company and stay there 20, 30 years and retire and have some stability. It ain't like that no more. You can have a job making 6 figures. Man, I know somebody worked at the Pentagon for 10 years making $250,000 a year. As soon as Trump got elected, they was out of work. Anything can happen. It's not like
and that's why that person you decide to be with, that love got to be there, bro.
It better
because
be
if
there.
that love is there, she's gonna stay with you, or he'll stay with you through thick and thin, because they love you and it's like that. But if they with you based on conditions, when that condition leaves or can no longer be provided, that person is gonna jump ship to the next person who can help them.
Yeah, you gotta look at what it is you basing your attraction for that person off of. If it's just a physical thing,
grow to love someone.
Say what?
Do you think you could go to love someone?
Yeah.
I wish Austin was on here.
Yeah.
He tried that and it didn't work. They got a divorce. He was like, because when he met the girl and we were talking, they were together. Him and I was talking, and he was talking about marrying. And I said, well, do you like her? But he looking at her income, his income. And he was like, we look good on paper. I said, but do you love her? He said, well, I'm gonna grow to love her. And he stayed in that relationship another 4 some years, and the growth never came with that love. That love never grew. So I'm not gonna get with nobody who I have to. I'm not gonna marry nobody or get in no long-term year relationship hoping to grow to love them.
No, I'm not doing
I don't
that either.
love like that as it is. Love is something that don't come out my mouth or in my emotions too easy. So I'm not gonna just waste it trying to force myself to love somebody. That's the craziest shit I
You
ever
should
heard.
never do that.
We're gonna grow to love each other. And I hear people say that all the time. We're gonna grow. You can grow to love that person because you like their bank account, but you won't Larry, but you stuck with John. That's
Fellas,
bullshit.
listen, if you lead with money when it comes to getting that woman, don't be surprised that's how you lose her. If she with you for the money, she will leave you for the money. So when you go through a dry spell and money looking kind of tight, don't expect that woman to stick around, homie. Lead with what's inside of you, not anything material outside of you. If you ain't enough, then she ain't the one for you, dog.
There you go. That's up. That's what's up.
That's
and that
real.
go for men and women, though.
Yeah, it's true.
Y'all need to stop leading. Cause it's women who buying them guys Jordans.
Yeah,
Like
and they
AJ
buying
used to do.
PlayStations, they buying it
Yeah,
all.
AJ used to do that. So she know. She used to buy Jordans. She bought what 2-3 PlayStation in her lifetime, but she didn't grew now. Now she's selling it. Her PlayStation buying days are over. Her Jordan buying days right now has come to a halt. And we get that.
Some women still do it, even in their 40s and 50s. They still buying.
They still doing it. Yeah.
When did you stop, AJ?
I ain't never started.
No.
You trying
You
to
know,
speak,
when
but
you
no,
was buying them little youngs, them little 23-year-olds you was messing around with. When did you stop buying the J's and stuff? No, like I say, ain't nobody. It's just me and you talking. Ain't nobody listening.
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh,
I
you
told
plead
you
the fifth on that. That's what's
I
up.
told you the last time. I don't know nothing about that.
That was
I
up.
do
You
not.
plead the fifth on that. Okay. That's what's up. But it's all good. It's all good. We'll discuss that after the show. That's the behind the scenes. But it's all good. But yeah, I just feel like the relationships that's based on business, I don't see that being healthy in the long run because, like we said, anything can happen. Like AJ said, what if something happens and one of them lose their job, or one of them falls short several times on what they was used to meeting? It's going to be a problem in that household.
Or what if they get sick? You know,
yeah.
What if they come down? What if they get cancer? What if they get in an accident? You have to play to all those what ifs. What if this person cannot be what I see them as right now? What if something happens to them? Am I still gonna be there and love that person? I've done it with people. I've had loved ones be sick and been doing feeding tubes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's not gonna do that.
You have to have love for that person,
right?
That's why I say, y'all, maintaining a good relationship is not hard. The key thing is, we always say communication, but the key thing too is don't do unto that person that you don't want that person to do unto you.
Right.
And like we say, and AJ said it too, we always was brought up under what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you can do it, I should be able to do it. If you got male friends, let me have female friends. If you got males that you talk to on the phone about your business, let me have females that I can talk to on the phone about my business. If it's something we both agree on. And then if I get tired of doing it, we need a conversation. We need to, that's where your communication come in at. But I don't feel like one should be doing something and the other one is forbidden for the other one to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's not that hard.
Well, a lot of relationships don't have that equilibrium. You know, they have, you know, you have lopsided relationships. And not in terms of 50-50, but you know, one person may do one thing, one person may do another thing. But
Right.
when you get into that, well, I can do this, but you can't. Yeah, that gets to be petty, and
Yeah.
that usually smacks of insecurity. And if you got it, nothing will kill a relationship quicker than insecurity.
Yeah.
You know, nothing. So you know, you got that in play, but that goes back to something we talk about all the time. When we talk about people getting in relationships when they not healed and whole. Nobody's gonna be
Right.
whole, but when they not healed at a certain point where they healthy emotionally, they just gonna get into messed up relationships. So you know, you got to take care of that for you think about love or money, anything. Where am I at? Am I at a good point? Am
Yeah.
I sound emotionally? Am I sound mentally? Am I sound in a way where I can add something to somebody's existence? And a lot of us are just broken, trying to find and mingle with other broken pieces. And then we end up with stuff like this.
I mean, and like I say, when we say love or money, we ain't talking about no broke joker who can't rub two niggas together.
No.
We talking about a man that's out there, like I
Trying.
say, 50K a year, his vehicle paid for, his income to debt ratio around 20%. He doing his thing, and he meets a nice young lady and let him tell him the women making all this damn money. They making extra money here, extra money there. They paid. So why do that man have to make 6 figures?
Because it's about image. They want to be able to tell their friends, my man makes 6 figures. It's about image, it's about being on social media, it's about clicks, it's not about love with a lot of these folks, men and women. It's about who can make me look good, who can give me clout and things like that. That's a lot of times why they get in relationships. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's more image than based on love and devotion and all of that.
Right. Because you can love a man that ain't got 2 nickels. He can be a good man. He may just need the right woman to help him get his stuff going. You know, but it's so many, and this same goes for women. You got a lot of women that can't rub 2 niggas together. They ain't got with the right. If they get with the right person, they can help cultivate something.
AJ say she ain't finna help nobody that can't rub 2 niggas together.
Well, I ain't
Did you
say
hear her
help.
when you said that? You heard her mumbling. She ain't finna do that.
No, I didn't say that. I'm not that kind of person. Money is not a factor. Like like I said, when we talking about our priorities or things that we want, is money on my top 10? Yes, but it's number 10.
Right.
It's not that.
As a woman, it's not number 10. It's probably number 3.
As a woman, am I looking for a man for his money? No.
Okay, what he got to come with?
Have some? Do he need to have some? Yes.
Besides, he got to give you some attention. What else? He got to lay it down. He got to come with some wood.
Well, you know, I'm not having sex yet, so I don't know about all that.
You know. Okay, what's your top 5 then? What a man got to have you to talk to?
Love, fear of God.
Yeah.
Number 1. Integrity, character, honest. Be able to be honest. You know, that goes with integrity. The person that you are when nobody's watching, when you think nobody's watching, or whether or not the person that you are when you go through something that ain't so peaches and cream, you go through some bad things. How do you handle those things? I mean, I'm not trying to sound cliche, but those things really do matter. When you boil everything down, when you boil a relationship down to its basic elements, you want somebody you can trust. You want somebody that's gonna reciprocate. You want somebody that's gonna walk. Y'all can. How can 2 people walk unless they agree? And so, and you want somebody that you can be equally yoked with. All those things come before money. You know, because Money can come and go.
And it does. How many times we get paid and our check already spent before it even hit our direct deposit? We already got our bills wrote out and everything. We know we got $20 left for 2 weeks, but at least the lights on, at least the car been paid for. You know, so money is so fluid. It's not even real. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to see, especially as Black folks, more focused on wealth than money because they're not the same thing. They not.
No,
you know,
they not.
And we just
and I'd rather be wealthy than rich.
Yeah, exactly. But we have so many people basing their lifestyle off materialism and money and don't have a damn clue of how to make it, how to get it, how to cultivate it, or nothing. It's like trying to drive a Bugatti when you don't have a driver's license. You know, you need some training wheels first before you get to that point.
Well, you know, a lot of people live above and beyond their means.
They do, and they stressed. Stressed. How many friends, how many people we know stressing to hold on to some bullshit they got?
Yeah.
You know, we all know people. We ain't got no names. We know them.
Yeah.
You know, working 2 jobs, don't see his kids, don't see his wife, but that wife want that house. You know,
and then he's breaking his neck to keep her in the house, and she messing with Jody up the road.
I mean, it's not.
She taking his money, buying Jody 3.5s and some game to smoke with.
Maybe, but even if she not, that's still a poor quality of life. Somebody, you know, I knew this one couple, both of them working 2 jobs to keep some shit, and they admitted that's why they were doing it. Because they wanted to live a certain lifestyle, but how you living? You never see each other. You got a brand new car, you can't even drive because you always at work. What are you chasing? What are you trying? What are you trying? Who are you trying to prove something to?
Because
nobody really cares.
Co-workers, yeah, they just don't know that. Today, now back in the day, I'm gonna say 15, maybe I'm gonna say 15, 20 years ago, maybe people cared about what you wear, what you drive, where you live. But times have been messed up for everybody lately. So people is like, shit, girl, don't worry about that as long as you eating. Girl, don't worry about that as long as you got a roof over your head. You know, it's not about all that now.
Right.
But it was bullshit back then. That was bull. It's still bullshit. It was bullshit. It was bullshit back then when you people go all out their way to impress some people, another broke somebody.
And you know something? That bullshit started in junior high school. Remember, AJ? We was in junior high, how people was about what you wore and what you did, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like that back then. We was coming up. So it
really that's what I said. I said back in the day it mattered. Yeah. But today with everybody in the same pot, it really don't matter. So a person can have a knockoff bag now and it's okay. But if you had a knockoff bag 20 years ago, that was a problem.
You got roasted. And here's the thing about them bags. They spent maybe $10 to make those bags. That celebrity you see with it, they didn't pay for the bag. You the fool paying $4,000 or $5,000 for the bag. The folks that make it spent $10 to make it, and the celebrities got it gifted to them to show off to you fools.
Did you see that they made a fan purse? Louis Vuitton made a fan purse.
What you mean a fan purse?
Like where them fans at type purse. It looked like a fan.
Folks gonna buy it.
And it went from $5,000 now it's $10,000.
Why? It just holds your stuff.
So some fool somewhere gonna buy it.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
So they can
fools buying it.
So that just so they can stunt when that song come on for some more other broke people.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that the truth? Because you mostly studying for broke folks.
I mean, I hate that they prey on us like that, and I hate that we give in to it like that.
That's weak-minded, and like I say, hold on a minute.
Should women marry for love or for money?
Well, you have to weigh your options. What's the best investment? If I marry for money, that could potentially run out. But if I marry for love, that could be eternal. So I would choose love every single time.
And that's kind of where I stand. Because I could make money. George can make money. And then and women, AJ, y'all making money. So my thing is she bragging? My question, George, this is what I want to ask you, and I know you got to go. This is my question, and AJ answered this too. All these women, and y'all seen it. We didn't have them on here since y'all been on. They making that bag. They bragging on making 60, 70, 80, 100K. If you making that, why do they say my man got to match what I make?
So they can show off to their friends that their man making more than them, because they not finna tote no man is making less than them, because that's not gonna look good to their little friends, their church members, they sorors and all that kind of garbage.
And you know what? Image. I didn't look at it like that, because I'm like, if she making this much and she can take care of herself, what does it matter what he make?
I'm more or less on that end. What does it matter if she can take care of herself?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because he gotta make more than me. So I made 80,000. He gonna at least have to come with 90. I'm like, what if he able to maintain what he made?
If that's your threshold for which you judge or begin a relationship with, you oftentimes find yourself in the market and be like, where the men at? Where they at? Because you can't find nobody that's gonna necessarily satisfy that. And 9 times out of 10, the men is making more than you. They're gonna want to control more than you. I mean, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. Don't take that out of context. I feel like men should lead and lead. Okay, there's a difference between leading and being controlling.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but I'm just saying, if you're capable of taking care of yourself and all that you come with, then if he makes 40,000 and he's bringing home the paycheck, why would you think that's a good man?
And another one, George and AJ. Let's just say he make 100K, what y'all saying, but his debt to rating ratio, his debt to income ratio is over 60%.
That means
he got the Escalade. He driving the Bentley. He have the the Maybach or whatever. He has the luxury vehicles. He has
the thing you got to keep in mind. Anybody can make money, but everybody can't manage it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you got to look at too. That man might can manage that $50,000 better than that dude that's making $250,000 because he ain't gonna have high bills. You start making more money, you get a bigger house, you get a more expensive car. So proportionally, you may be doing worse than somebody that's making half of what you make.
There you
depending
go.
on how you spend.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking, because they be like, "Oh, it take $200,000 to even have a 3-member family or a 4-member family." No, it don't. What you doing? What you doing? I've been doing this for years. What you doing? I don't need 200,000.
I mean, you take you five. I mean, here's the thing. It depends on how you want to live. People want to buy expensive cars. You can take you $5,000. Go to the auction, get you a good running car. Be straight. Don't have no car note. Buy you a house.
You can actually do that now with a 2023. You can go get a nice 2023 vehicle cash with low mileage and show out. But you rather go and get the 2025 that just hit the lot and add your rims and stuff to it. It's just priority kind of messed up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, me personally, I'm gonna choose the love thing because I can make money. I'm making my own money, so I ain't tripping on no money. But with that being said, George, I know you got to get out of here. I'm gonna play a commercial and then let you dip.
I'm gonna bow,
y'all. Car Breakdowns 101. I'm your Professor Ice-T. If your car is out of warranty, a car breakdown could eat you alive. Look at that car. The transmission alone could cost you $3,000. And that engine? How much do you love your kidneys? Don't even get me started on the computer system. That's a small fortune. Do what I did and call CarShield. They get expensive car repairs taken care of so you don't have to. Class dismissed.
Call 800-765-4208.
And that's perfect because when you buy that $5,000 car, There with no car note, you can get you car shield on top of that and feel protected.
Thanks.
There you go, right
You're
there.
crazy.
See?
Yeah, you in the marketing, man. That's what's up.
Yeah. There you go. Call car shield, get you a $5,000 car. Then you ain't got to pay that car note. You might not impress nobody, but hell, you ain't walking.
Well, I believe in, and a lot of people believe in the man. The car makes the man. It no matter what I'm in, when they see me in it, they be like, "There he go." You know what I'm saying? So
that's right.
I don't get it. But all right, George, next week, man, holler at me, get at me tomorrow or Friday, hit me up.
I got you. But
We'll
y'all have a
talk.
blessed night. Yeah,
You
AJ,
too.
y'all have a blessed night. Both of y'all got my numbers. Just holler at me, and I see everybody next week. So thank y'all.
That's what's up. Appreciate
All right,
you.
now. Good night,
I'm
y'all.
finna drill on old AJ.
All right, now. Don't be too hard on my friend now.
Hey,
we
AJ,
go
AJ
ways
like
back
that
now.
business.
All right, y'all.
I like to play. All right, bye.
All
I
right.
like to play devil's advocate because you have with you especially because you got this sense of thing that you think all women ain't shit, and we are not. That is not true. We are
Right.
not all this. All
I mean,
that.
out of 100 of y'all, maybe 15 slide through the crack as being decent.
Lord Jesus. So
Yeah,
85%,
y'all out there.
85% ain't shit.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It's y'all. Y'all lost. A lot of you women lost shame. Y'all don't have shame. You don't have self control, self esteem. You just you said, well, what grandmama and mama taught us, damn that. We want to show our titties, we want to show our ass, we want to show everything, show the world of what we got going on. It's no privacy. This man can't hold his head up and be proud that people want to be with his woman, but they haven't touched her, and they wondering how did he get her? What's under that dress? What's under them jeans? Y'all show it to him. So shit, it ain't no wonder what's under there no more. It's nothing secret.
Well, I think you got to understand that a lot of women feel like they do that. If we have esteem issues, but we get in again. I'll tell you a lot of times what you're seeing in women now is the byproduct of all the women who done got hurt and then heal and from a man that hurt them somewhere and they decided to just say fuck it, and they doing whatever floats their boat, whatever makes them feel good. And for the young women coming up, it's the culture now to everything that they listen to or watch or read, or I don't know about read, but necessarily see. Yeah, everything that they see is geared toward, nakedness. Sex gonna sell your record. You ain't gonna be able to sell that record without showing your titties or your ass, or you're not gonna be able to perform well on social media if you don't show a little bit, because that's just the world that we live in. And see, what I'm trying to be is more or less not of the world and the way God wants me to be. So, yes, it took me to get to this age, and so that's why I will offer someone.
Yeah, you had your
than
fun, so you don't count.
Right. But I'll offer someone in their 20s, right, to at least try to get more spiritual. You will notice that you'll be able to. You still have that fun, but
you partying for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You having fun for the Lord.
For the Lord. Talking for Jesus. Talking for Jesus.
And you laying down with all the men.
No, you can't do that. So the soul ties, soul ties are real. Soul ties are real. That is real. Body count, that body count. I don't think it should be a judgment from somebody. Don't judge me because of my body count. But body count is a thing, But
a lot of women that want to be judged by their body count got a high body count. But I'm just saying, you shouldn't be judging. Everybody do what they do, but you can't get mad. Okay, like if I'm a recovering crackhead, that's just what I do. I did. So if I meet somebody and they just don't care for a person that was on crack, I just miss that person.
Right.
That's not, So my thing with all of the women and like you say, the younger ones just laying down and just getting it up, legs in the air, and anybody can hit it. What are you gonna think about when you get older? What goes through your mind when you get older? Do sometimes you say, I shouldn't have done that? Or do you say, I'm proud I slept with 70 guys between the age of 17 and 35? How do
It's not
you?
necessarily a proud, boastful type thing. It's more or less what's done is done, and I did it. It's over. It's not. I don't think women are boasting about it. That's men boast about their body count, their notches on their belt. Women tend to not so much. So I don't think it's necessarily about that. It's more or less, okay, what can you do about it? It's the past. Why should it matter if that's not affecting my present?
I'm trying to get an understanding of that. It's just hard when you. I don't know. I guess when you grew up with and you was around your big mama a lot, and then you seen how we talked about, as Big Mama would say, the loose girls at school, and then the loose ones in college that was getting trains ran on them and stuff, and how we talked about them. And being that I was popular and mostly was in those circles where we talked about them and knew what was going on, and a lot of times created them. I guess that's my problem, because I helped create a lot of the women that were loosely sleeping around, and I know how we viewed them, me and my people, my peers, how we viewed them. So when I got grown and got out here, that's just something I didn't want, because I was in those circles where we talked about the women, or we set them up. Hey, I got my homeboy in town. I want you to mess with her. You gonna mess with her. Then they'll swap, and different things like that. So they was considered sluts. And I never wanted a slut. So that's why I think it wears on me. Because it's not an esteem issue. It's not a size issue. It's none of that. It's just that and then listening to how Big Mama preached to my sister on your body is a temple, your body is precious. Shouldn't everybody have a term with you? You should be selective of whom you give your body to.
But all those things hold true today. We should be more selective. We should consider our body as a temple. We should do those things. But I offer you again a different perspective, because it's the same way for a man. You should be selective. Your body is your temple. So you want to hold a woman.
Men and women not the same. And
no,
when we get off the phone, I want
body
you.
Count on
When
no
we
woman
get off
if
the
you ain't holding
phone,
on a man.
I want you to go listen to Betty Wright. She got a song called "Girls Can't Do What Men Do," and she breaks that down. So it's by Betty Wright. So go on Google that. But they are not. Men and women are not the same. They are not looked at the same. And you know this. You weren't born yesterday.
Men create
You weren't born yesterday.
Men has created the fucking woman. Let's just be clear on that. Men have created the woman that says fuck it.
The weak woman. Majority of them are weak.
Well, they're not weak if somebody is with somebody and they tearing at your self-esteem, or they tearing at your self-image, or better yet, they're making you feel inadequate, right?
Okay.
And then let's say you get out of that relationship with that person. All those things don't go away just because you got out the relationship with that person. You still have those inadequacy feelings, those insecurities about yourself, and that low self-esteem. If you don't do the work to get yourself together and out of that,
the healing process and
right,
trying to make yourself whole again. So
right.
let me ask you this: how do you feel about tit for tat?
I don't do tit for tat.
Okay.
But I understand tit for tat. I understand it. I understand why people do it. But I really think that's a low mind. I mean, it's just a
Yeah. Now,
thing that
I ain't gonna lie. In high school and college, yeah, I did that, and probably fresh out of high school a year or two, it was a tit for tat thing. But when you get older, and like I said, you have knowledge of self, you learn yourself. I'm not gonna make a woman make me go mess with somebody's mental if that's that type of person, or sleep with somebody and have that person thinking about me, texting my phone every now and then, what you doing, when I know I just did that because I was feeling some type of way. You know what I'm saying? It started
well, you were
bothering me.
using, you was just using her. You know, the
Yeah,
best thing
it
they
started bothering me as I got older. It's like when they text me, like, then that moment was that moment. And then I'm done. And then I get that text, what you doing? And I'm looking like, why the hell she hitting? Why did I do that? You know what I'm saying? So to keep, I guess I started getting a conscience the older you get, and I'm like, and I only did that because I thought she did something, or she was seen talking to this person, so I'm finna go and sleep with this person.
Right.
And now you got that person head messed up, especially with women, hard to find decent men anyway. And then you done ran over there and said all this stuff because you mad. And now you done slept with them. Now they thinking y'all got something going on. And I mean, it's just a lot. You get what I'm saying? And people are crazier now than what they were then. With this being I don't give a fuck society, everybody emotionally messed up. They need therapy. They mentally messed up. So a lot of things that you could do 15, 20 years ago, you better not try that now.
No,
Every
because I
day
mean,
is somebody getting shot, stabbed every day. You can Google right now how many people got stabbed today or got shot today in a domestic violence type deal. Girlfriend caught boyfriend, wife caught husband, husband caught wife. It's just so much going on. So I learned before I even got in this to walk away. It ain't about fighting. It's not about fussing. It's just like, that's what's up, and you just end it, because it's more women out there. And like I say, I was like a spade player when it came to getting women. I'm gonna always have 1 in 3 possible. So I was like, that don't work. Well, hell, I wanted to see what was up with Shaquita anyway.
right. Okay. So you always had somebody, a spare tire, a spare in the trunk.
I knew how far to go with my possibles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would just keep it just in case, But they'll be someone who I knew they like me. They crushing on me and whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
I got you.
Because you don't say you don't go and sleep with them or mess with them, but it'd be one of those. And like I said, I was always open. You know what I'm saying? I got my situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm good right now. And then they leave me alone. And then when she get rocking, shit hit the fan. What you doing? What you doing tonight? Where you at?
And that woman that you called and used, you created a better fucking woman.
I probably did. But
and then maybe she already had some insecurity or inadequate with her self-esteem. And so she said, well, you know what? I'm gonna go out and dress up and and then she meet somebody and he all into her and they had that one night stand and she be like, oh, okay, I'm like you, don't call. That was cool. It was cool when we was doing it, but I'm good after the fact. So how is it that you figure like that you can have that and a woman can't have that same
Because
feeling about the
y'all
situation?
supposed to be better than men. You guys bear children. We don't. We just fertilize. You guys carry.
I'm talking about mentally. Mentally,
I mean,
right?
mentally, we both can all be messed up at the same time. But your body is different than.
What if she wasn't never taught that? What if she ain't never had no big mama that taught her that? And now again,
You know
I'm
what a
just
hoe
asking.
is. She ain't
What
that
you
far
say?
gone. She know what a hoe is. You know what I'm saying? And she thought twice, But sometimes when we're vulnerable or we're angry, that's why I tell people never make long-term decisions when you're in a desperate situation.
That's
Because
true.
now that's something you have to live with, that you slept with this person that you knew was married, that you knew wasn't gonna leave his baby mama because you was
Mm-hmm.
angry.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that tit for tat, that just don't get it. I'm not finna go and climb in someone else's bed just because I'm mad. It's like it ain't worth it. I'm gonna get my mental together and deal with my situation first. And I don't like playing on people's emotions anymore. And I guess that's what messed me up. Hold on, I gotta play this sponsor. Hold on. I think it's
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, bank accounts, cash, and assets are all up for grabs. With thousands of 5-star reviews, StopIRSDebt.com has helped taxpayers of all incomes get protected and slash their tax debt fast. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. Don't wait until it's too late.
Call 855-732-6114. Call now.
Yeah, I had to file mine yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so playing with the emotions, I guess that's why I don't now believe in the tit for tat. But back in the day, okay, she did that, I'm finna do that. And then being that I'm so self-centered and I let very few people in, I trusted that person. I like that person. And so now me knowing that they stepped out or that I stepped out, now I'm feeling some type of way. You get what I'm
But
saying? So
see,
I
a lot
don't
of
like to deal
times
with emotions, period.
people don't want to deal with the emotion. They don't want to say that full of the word. Hey, you hurt me. What you did hurt me. Right. And
Right.
so it's almost as if you say that or you recognize that hurt, then you weak or you a simp or you this or you that. But underneath all of those other actions or emotions is hurt. You was hurt, and so you went out and did this. You was hurt, and so you said that. It was hurt that made you
You love
necessarily.
saying that word hurt. Don't say that no more. It's like you poke every time you see it. I'm like, you hurt me.
Right, right,
But
right.
because
Nobody wants to admit that they're hurt.
yeah, and I did have a problem with that. I was macho. Men don't supposed to cry. You know what I'm saying? So I dealt with what I could. I dealt with it the best way I knew how, and that was to
So
get back.
what would your advice be to a younger male, a younger version, your younger self? What would your advice be? If you knew then what you know now, what would you do different?
Uh, I would talk more, communication, and see if you can find somebody who can just be honest. Just be honest. I ain't feeling you like that, or
I
we're
am
not
feeling you like
connecting.
that.
We're
So
not
stop
connecting.
seeing them other dudes.
we're not connecting the way I thought we were gonna connect. You know, just keep it a buck. And if that person still want to be around, just like the story I told y'all about the girl who caught a guy at the hotel, then he tried to come back to her, and she said, "You can come back, but it won't be the same." If that person, you know, it ain't gonna work, and you don't really care for that person, but they need time. Sometimes that person need time to wean themselves off of you. So you can allow them that time, but let them know that it's not. We're not what we were. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And communication. I wasn't a big communicator. And I'm just now learning to communicate. I'm the type to just shut down, withdraw. Why are you acting funny? You know, I'm that person. I was that person. I'm newly trying not to be, that person, but I shut down. Why you was loving me yesterday and today you don't want me, you don't want to touch me. It'd be a lot of times that I just shut down. I see something, think something, and communication is the key. That was the hardest thing to me. I didn't really have nobody that I could just communicate with. Or like you said, I was so caught up on being macho where I ain't gonna look like no simp trying to say, well, I don't want you doing this. I'll be like, do what you want.
Right.
Do what you do. When in deep inside you like, don't do that. I hope you don't do that. Well, I'm gonna go to the club with 8 of my single friends and we finna be at a male strip club. Okay, do what you do. But in your mind, you saying, well, I don't think you need to go to the strip club with your single friends, but you don't say nothing. But then you hold it in, and now you got an attitude off and on, because you're thinking about the single friends and the strip club.
Right.
Communication. And then that determines what type of mate you have. So sometimes, what if that communication go, well, like, this is something I really want to do. Can't you just be happy for me? And I'm finally able to do this and that, then you know what type of person you have. And if that's not the person you want, then that's another thing you got to deal with. She's not who you thought she was, and vice versa. So it's the communication thing. I think I would tell the younger me to communicate and at least throw it out there. Like if you say, I don't like you staying out till 3 a.m. with your single friends, and you tell me that's my discretion if I'm going to do it. But if you don't like it and don't ever say nothing, make it look like it's okay, but then you on the phone telling your friend girls, he stayed out again till 3 a.m, 4 a.m. He tried to sneak back in here. Instead of saying, well, I don't like it when you out at 3 a.m. with this particular person.
I think that's what I would say to my younger self. I would say, don't assume somebody knows what you're thinking or feeling. Say it.
Yeah.
Don't assume that, like you say, I'm not gonna sit up and complain to my girlfriend. He did it again when I ain't even vocalized it to him that, hey, what you doing bothers me.
Right.
I think I would say more, or better yet, not hold it in, or just, I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, we would communicate more.
Yeah.
Because I was just shut down. You do something, or I think you did something, I just shut down and like, I'm gonna pull away from you because I don't want to go through no heartache, no pain, no nothing. So I'm just gonna let me shut this down now before I keep going, and and I throw myself. I see the bus coming up the road, so why throw myself in front of it by staying in? So I'm gonna get off the highway. If I don't want that bus to be near me or hit me, I'm gonna get out of it. And that's how I basically lived all my life. When I see something can possibly crumble, I instantly get out of it. And so that's why I'm so like self-centered, and that's why I'm like, all this love, money, I gotta have somebody who I could ride or die for, who can ride or die for me. I don't care about your education. I don't care about your money. Once we get together, I can teach you how to make money.
Right.
Once we together and that love is there, I can put you on a job. I can send you to school. You can go to school. I got ways. I got people who can write you a grant. that fill
I
out
was
them
looking
pale
at
claims.
Master P said something. I think he's getting divorced or something. They was like, you know, he said that he hid all her flaws from the world. You know, like his woman. You got this man, this mogul that's making all these moves, and you don't not one time try to come out with your own nail, perfume, lotion, something, you know. He was just like she wasn't equally yoked with him. You see what I'm saying? After
Right.
all this time and all these kids and all this money and all these going back and forth, you ain't said, baby, give me a couple of racks so I can start me a business.
He probably did. You don't think he did nothing? And I don't know.
I don't think
He
she had
probably
the
tried and it
desire.
failed.
If he tried and it failed, and then she didn't, you know, if she didn't have the motivation or incentive to do it again.
Right.
And for him, he making moves, coming up with new ways to make more money, and meanwhile you sitting over here on the couch watching TV, ain't studying. That's not gonna work.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, like I say, in that aspect, and then I get what George was saying. To make ends meet now, a lot of times you do have to have two income. You know what I'm saying? We understand that. But on the same note, I just always wanted to be established enough where if something happened, we still can maintain and stay afloat whether her money was there or not. That's just how I was raised.
Right.
And especially when you're a provider and you take on, you have a wife, y'all have children or whatever. I was raised by men who was real men. It wasn't, you know, the wives didn't have to work. They chose to work. They didn't have to.
Right.
And if she had to quit, got stressed out or whatever, had to quit, had a health issue, had to quit, the bill still got paid with no problem. Nobody was stressing because Pop's money paid the bill regardless.
Right.
When she was paying, I guess, half of she paying, like I say, I want the main bills. If you're gonna contribute, let me get the mortgage, let me get the car note if we have a car note. You can do the car. I mean, let me get I'm gonna do the mortgage and the car note. You can do the insurance, you can do the internet, you can probably even do the electric. You know what I'm saying? But I want the majors. And that's just, you know, and if you want to help contribute to the major, you can, but I'm gonna make sure that if you can't, the major gonna get paid. Because something may happen. You know, I skipped 3 days because I had to do this and that. And then the money you were given, the half or the third of the mortgage you weren't able to do, it's still gonna get paid. Because I want to make sure that I'm gonna take care of that main. And that's just how I am. I want the main bills. You get the other one. The water bill. You can have the water bill, the electric, the car insurance, the internet, the cell phones if you want to. You know, you can get all that, but the main bills, the mortgage, the car notes and stuff like that, I want.
Right. I got you.
No, and that's just me making sure everything done because I know how I'm gonna do it. And a lot of times when it comes to spending money, men are more disciplined than women. You know, a lot of cases. But yeah, that's what gets me. The woman that's making the big bucks, how about a man got to make more than her match her? And I didn't think of it to George put it down like that because they don't want to look like they taking care of somebody.
Somebody,
yeah. So I was like, why? If she got all this money and she this and that, why is she saying her man money got to match her? That I don't know. No, that's just weird and crazy. But you know, but that's the world. That's how it is now.
That's the world. Yeah.
That's how it is now. When she sat on there and said a guy asked her how much do she make and what she brings to the table? Because I'm like, men are asking women how much money they contribute to a household now.
Yes, they are.
You experienced that?
Yes,
Wow. So
they
it's
are.
real.
They are. It's real.
How do they fix their mouth to say that? And with you being mature, how did you view that?
How did I view that? Oh
Yeah.
no, I couldn't, because I was like, I'm like, because money's not a deciding thing necessarily for me. For me to get there like right off the bat, right in the beginning, that's a turn off. That's a major red flag. You see,
Yeah.
First of all, you do not count my pocket. You are not going to count my pocket. We're not gonna need to discuss my pockets. You know, I'm not gonna have that conversation. But we not gonna talk. I don't see where, if you ask me something like that, I don't see where we there's nothing much more we got left to talk about. There's nothing much more that we can say to each other, because I know now where you at. You want to know if I could take care of you. That's how I'm gonna feel.
And they out there actually asking these questions now. That is so crazy. When I heard that, I was like, nah, ain't nobody asked her that. But you say it's real.
You talk to these younger kids, that's what they own. That's what they own. That's what they own.
The 50-50. How you feel about 50-50?
I don't feel any type of way. I don't like 50-50. I can do 70-30.
60-40.
I don't even want to do 60-40. Because like I said, I believe in men to lead. And so part of that leadership is running of the household. You know, I'm looking for him to lead me, you know. So yeah, I don't mind contributing, but I don't want to be a majority contributor. My contribution to the household won't necessarily be monetary.
Okay, so would you date someone that make less than you?
Yes.
Seriously date them if they make less
Seriously.
than you.
Yes.
And will you still allow him to be the man of the house?
Yes.
You make 50,000, he make 25 or 30.
25, 30.
We're gonna give him $10 an hour, and you make $20 an hour. So you make more than him, and you still allow him to be the man of the house. So how much money he make don't determine whether he's man of the house or not, right?
No, it will not. It will not determine. Now that's me, the older version. The younger version, I get it. Hey, baby, you know, it never dawned on me to be like, okay, he make less than me, because I never had to really necessarily take care of him, right? So it don't dawn on me that I make more than him. You know, he make less than me, but I ain't never had to take care of him. You see, I ain't have to give him no allowance. We ain't have to do that. We ain't have to do that. We ain't gonna do that. We can't do that. You know. So I get how the kids are nowadays. I call them kids, but they're in their 20s, their 30s, right?
I mean, I see it, but I don't get it.
But you gotta believe, you gotta think about you were 20 and 31.
Yeah, but we wasn't talking about what who bring it to the table. The man always knew he had to get out there and do what he do, and the woman didn't fix her mouth to ask.
No, and we never asked. We never asked. We automatically just went in with that expectation. Right? Now it's more or less the role is reversed. The men have that expectation.
Yeah, because a lot of the newer men not working. They don't want to work. They don't want to work. They'll be on a job. They'll leave their job. They want to get high.
That's true.
You know, they rather smoke weed than work.
So what advice could we give to young people?
Shit, they not gonna listen to you because they figure that was back then. Like it was a party that was thrown, and they had women that wear 21 trying to squeeze in a 16, and so I made the comment on women need to start dressing more what's their body type. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They cursed me out. They like, that was back then. We wear what we want to wear now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't deal with them. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with them now. I'm like, y'all do y'all. So I wouldn't give them no advice. But I just know that I'm ashamed of the women, the girls, the new women that's coming up. Showing all the body parts, and you know, it's like, and now don't get me wrong, they had them back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And when my mind see them dressed like that and I use them just for sex, I got tired of hearing all you want is sex. And I was like, well, that's all you advertise.
Right. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You leading with sex.
Yeah.
You wearing the tight clothes. You when we on the phone, all you talking about is sex. So when I get it and I'm moving on and you see me with the fully clothed female that I'm walking with in the mall, you not that person. You were for sex. That's what you advertised, and I jumped on it.
Mm-hmm.
You can hit me up when it's sex time, but right now I'm with my I'm with my potential lady. So, you know, don't
I
advertise
think
it
they
and then
probably
come
felt
back
like you were
asking.
body shaming, more or less, not coming from an uncle perspective. You were body shaming. You know,
Which one?
when you said something about the young ladies and
Oh
what they
yeah.
had on. You know, it's not that I'm shaming your body. It's just I want you to have more respect for your body. And just because they make it in your size don't mean you should wear it.
That's true. And they was like, what are you, a fashion designer now? So I do have merch. I have shirts that I have. Yeah, I can be.
Right.
Yeah,
I
they
can
said,
see
no,
that.
them girls are mad. We wear what we want to now.
Yeah, we ain't into that. That's that old stuff.
Yeah.
Old people stuff. I get you.
Yeah, so it's no shame. And that's why the guys don't respect them women.
Yeah.
They don't respect them. They dog them out. They get babies by them. They still try to sleep with their friends, their sisters. They don't respect them. Respect is gone.
Yeah.
And the mothers are busy living their lives now where they're not raising them girls. The mother still got a little life in them. And she out there getting more stick than a daughter getting.
Right. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times now too, the mothers are sleeping with the daughters' boyfriends behind their back.
Yeah. I've seen that happen too.
Yeah, because he in the house, he ain't working. The daughter at school are working
I
at
ain't gonna
Wendy's.
go behind my friend less long, my daughter. I tell my daughter all the time, do not ever give nobody that type of bragging right to say that they done had both the mother and the daughter. No, sir. We not doing that. Ain't no nigga in this world worth that.
Man, them cougars get lonely, and then them young girls be trying to outdo they mamas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They be legal age 20 and stuff like that, but they be trying to outdo they mom. Mom and daughter jealous of each other.
Competition. That's sad. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like I say, it's crazy out there, man. You
It's
just
the world we living in.
yeah, and I hate that. I hate that because when you got young sons coming up and that's what they have to pick from, not a pretty sight.
Right.
Keep this one out.
What's more important in your relationship, love or money? When the two of you got together, was it because you loved them, or was one of the deciding factors how much money they made? A lot of times, especially these days, money is the big ticket item these days. And if you don't make over 6 figures, then we don't have room or space. Some people would say that. Is that the deciding factor for you in your relationship, or is it the chemistry? Are you interested in the person because of your connection with them, or because of their interest and your interests, and the vibe that the two of you get together? Would you throw a person away because they don't make 6 figures? Would you bypass them because they can't take you to the restaurants that you are accustomed to? Can you just simply love a person and not for the money that they have? Of course, we have to have money to support ourselves, right? We're not asking you to support anyone. But does your partner have to have a specific salary in order for you to invite them into your lives?
Yeah. Wow.
Now we get the men, you got to have something. You know, that's why I say we ain't talking about the broke guys. We talking about one who got maybe a 3-bedroom home, 2 baths, 1,200, at least 12 to 2,000 square feet, vehicle paid for, or maintaining his vehicle. When he get through spending all his bills, his debt to income ratio 30 to 20%, and he maintaining what he has. Does that money, does him making $55,000 a year, does that subtract from being a candidate to date someone?
We moving way past what kind of person people are. You know, you judging people on something that can change. But in the blink of an eye, they look or their money, or are you? But what kind of person are they? Are we losing sight of? Is that not important anymore? What kind of person that we dealing with?
It's not important. In the gate, opening the gate is not. They don't find that out until a year and a half later after a baby, and
they have nothing in common and they don't get along.
Yeah, he beating on her and going back to his ex-girlfriend, and he running behind both of them. And everything I'm saying you've seen. If not with your friends, your daughter friends. And they have these children by these men, and they don't know the man, and vice versa. The man don't know the girl, because the time they spend together is sexual.
Right.
So no one's taking time out to say, let me get to know this person. Like you say, so you'll be a person who will break it down and say, you'll be asking a whole bunch of questions, and I'll be like, you really like me? And so my mind will be like, all these questions she asking, I need to make sure she's somebody I want to be with, because she asking a ton of questions. And she asking these like she really interviewing to see I'm not a man for her. And so now it's time for me to really be like, yeah, I feel you like that, or no, I don't really feel you like that. You get what I'm saying? Because you gonna come with some questions.
I've always been a quiet, outspoken person. If that makes sense. I'm quiet, but I'm outspoken. And so, like I said, what I would tell my younger self would be to be more vulnerable and say, hey, what you did hurt. And it's caused me to react this way. Or it's caused me to resent you in this way. You see, I would be, more vulnerable
More
and being
vocal.
more vocal in that way. But I've always wanted to know, like, intentions are very. What's your intent? What's the purpose? What's the reason? Unbeknownst to me, I've been intentional by being intentional. I never, it's like sometimes you be on automatic and you don't even know what you're doing. Then when you look back and be like, okay, yeah, that was intentional. That was intentional. I always will be intentional without necessarily being intentional on purpose.
Yeah, because when
Because I've always
me
wanted
and,
to know why.
when me and the wife was talking after so long, that's what she asked me, like, what are we doing? Kind of like what you said. What are the intentions? Are you just having fun, or are we trying to make something here? Because I wouldn't say nothing. I'm the type that I'll go along with whatever you got going on, as long as you got it going on, till I get tired. You get what I'm saying? I wasn't the type who will say, "Hey, what we got going on?" You know what I'm saying? If you didn't say that you was trying to be serious with me, I'm gonna have you as a third wheel. Somebody stringing along while I'm waiting on somebody else. But you have to say, like she did. She said, "Okay, so what are we doing?
Right.
What is this? Because
Right.
I'm not going to keep coming over here, and we're not going to keep doing this if it's not leading nowhere. That's not who I am, and that's not what I'm about." And I was like, "Hey, nobody never said that to me, breaking it down like that."
And like I said, you owe her some every Wednesday, cause my God, that lady, I bless her heart for dealing with you.
Nah, it's all good,
She didn't get a watch this week. She need a watch.
You better watch that TV in there. Oh, he getting back into his old ways. You better go in there and watch that TV.
Right.
But yeah, we both in agreement on the love and money thing. We both figure love will outweigh that money.
Yeah, love does outweigh money.
So and so that's pretty much that in a nutshell. The money can stop, and if that money stop, will they love you enough to keep supporting you? If your health go down,
right?
Will that love be there, or will they say, "Well, the purpose, I was with him for his money, or I was with her for what she was making. She ain't making that no more, so let me find somebody else that's making that."
Right.
And they doing it. They getting dogged out, but they doing it.
we are so shallow. We have become so shallow. Oh my God, that's so shallow though.
Yeah, man. So
I digress.
yeah, we need to bring shame back. Y'all ain't shame no more.
You keep on blaming like it's just all the women, and the men are just innocent. They're not.
Well, I know you say, we broke y'all hearts and we was messing around with everybody with no feelings, and now y'all done start doing it. And now we supposed to just, we created it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You say we created it.
Someone you think hold some type of accountability for the men holds some type of accountability for it shifting the way it has shifted.
No, men played a role, but I think the lack of parenting played with it too.
Yeah, that's true. Because, like you said, you weren't raised with a big mama that taught you, to value yourself. Then you won't value yourself. Your
And
validation, you'll seek
and
validation from outside sources.
right. Or brought up with a dad that was a provider and a granddad that was a provider.
Right.
If all I do is see my dad every blue moon not getting no values or he running different women, I'm not gonna respect no woman. If
Yeah.
dad a gigolo, I'm gonna feel like I need to have 3 and 4 different women paying me.
Right.
And so that's what a lot of the men, the new men that's growing up, the dads are not hands-on in their life like they were back in the day. You know, like we said on here back in the day, a man taking care of another man's kid was praised. You a
Yeah.
simp now.
But it's still praiseworthy now. It's still praiseworthy.
I don't know. You go across social media, them guys this don't you. That ain't your child. You know, you take care of somebody else's kid.
It's still praiseworthy though.
It's worthy, but they not doing it. Google, when you get a break, go on either YouTube or TikTok and Google taking care of another man's child and watch how many guys coming out this and that.
That's sad.
They're gonna say don't do it. Terrible experience. That is not your child. And if you wasn't raised in a family like that, you're not gonna be quick to get in no relationship like that.
No, that's true.
You know, it's gonna be one of them. Put the kids to bed. I'm on my way. They in the bed
Yeah.
yet?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Call me when they go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You say that boy done been there and done all that, ain't he? Yeah. Call me when you put them in the bed. But with all that being said, like I said, we did agree that love is the most important thing, because if you that money can fade, but if that person love you when your health go down or whatever, that love will be there if it's real love.
Right.
But like the lady say, if you got with them because they have money, when that money gone, don't be surprised when they leave. And a lot of guys jumping in relationships on what I can do for you. They feel like they have to say that now.
Right.
Instead of looking back, because she got 1,000 guys in her DM that saying the same thing you say.
Right.
So I'm always come with something different.
I don't know why men leave with that though. Like that's supposed to be like, but see, only money hungry women jump on that. You know, when a man says, "Oh, I can take care of you," and it moves you, then you got to, look at yourself as that's why you being moved by something like that, because that could be a lie too. That could be a dream he's selling.
Yeah, because a mature woman will think how many more he can told that too.
Is that his game? That's what he used to get women. That's his best pickup line.
And then once he hit her 3 times, he don't want them no more.
Oh, you find out quick he ain't even got no money. He just flawed. Or capping, like the kids say.
How you find out? Are you asking for something?
No, because you go on a date with him. You go on a date, and he's cheap.
Now, just because somebody cheap now don't mean they ain't got no money, because I'm cheap.
There's a difference. Okay. When I say you go on a date with him, you go on a date with him and he order water.
He order what?
He orders water.
Hey, now I be ordering water.
Don't get me wrong, and that's all, and that's it.
And I get
Because
water.
I order water. I order water over soda anyway. But
I
I'm
get
saying
water.
that's it. That can't be it.
I get water, a bowl of lemons, and some sweet and low. 2 sweet and lows.
Oh, you sit there and make lemonade.
That's it.
Okay. It ain't that deep for me. Yeah, I mean, I could just drink plain water. And now, don't get me wrong. I like a water with a lemon twist is good.
Yeah, every water. A lot of people water don't taste good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I get you with the lemon twist, but I don't necessarily. If I want lemonade, I'm gonna go order the lemonade.
Because they've had so much artificial flavoring in it now in restaurants.
You
The
don't
wife
know
was
what's
getting
in.
that.
But that's true.
She get it. I taste hers, and I'm like, no, just bring me a water and a bowl of lemons and 2 sweet and lows.
Okay, and that's all you gonna order, no food.
And no, you know I'm gonna eat.
Okay, then that's what I'm saying.
So you done been on a date where a guy just ordered water?
And no food.
No. Well, maybe he just wanted to look at you that night.
Yeah. And I ordered me a half a rack of ribs, some fries.
You was at Chili's.
We were at a barbecue spot. And he ordered water. That's it.
He watched you eat.
He watched me eat. Well, I went on and shared it. Cause I mean, come on. I'm a realist. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna sit there and just be like that. No, I shared it. I went on and shared it.
But you hella nice, because I don't think I would have shared it. If she ordered water, that's all she gonna do.
We're gonna go on and share it. Cause you gonna pay for it. And after this, I don't want to talk to you no more.
Well, he used his gas to get there, so you had to give him something.
We drove separate cars. I don't do them first initial dates. I don't like to be picked up.
And think about it. Back in the day, that was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You had to come to the door, come inside and say hey to everybody.
Right.
But now I'm gonna meet you. I'm gonna meet you over there. And like I said, he ordered water. And when I was like, oh, when he done, I was like, he's not gonna order nothing else.
Did you ask him, was he hungry? You like, you must be hungry. No, I ate before I got here.
Of course, that's what they all say, right? As they're saying, I got a copy of this in the shop too. And so when the food came, like, I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna sit here. I don't feel comfortable sitting here eating in front of you, Eat something, eat some of it. So I was like, you want some of it? And he went on to acquiesce, yeah, I get some. So okay, split it on up in half. There you go. Here we are. I
probably would have still been playing it off like I ain't want none. Stomach over there growling and everything.
I know, right? Literally, I did eat before I came. I did, y'all. I ain't just lying because I ain't got no money. I did eat,
Right.
But the thing about it was, if we set it up to go out to eat, why would you eat before you come? If that's what the plan was, to go eat.
I forgot that we was going.
Yeah. True. Right. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot.
And again, I'm still I'm listening. Okay, you know, I hear you, but it just let me know a few things. You know, you did that. You led with that. I can take care of you. Oh, anything you want, I can get you anything you want. You know the game, the dream. But
Right.
when when it's time to put your cards on the table, you order water.
And that's why I said I've
You
never
can't even
done that.
afford to feed the both of us.
I've never done that.
And I've been on a date where that man has literally not had no money to pay for what he. Wait a minute, brothers. You ain't even got your hair. Oh, See, I can't. It's You know.
Yeah, it's hard up there on y'all now, man.
It's hard. And so that's why, I kind of go in. I go in when I get when those things happen. I go inward and I be like, okay, I just need to focus on myself and what I need to do. And if something happen, if somebody stumbles across my path and we stumble into each other, fine. If we don't, and if it never happens, I got to be okay with that. And I've gotten to that point now where I can say, if it never happens, I'm okay with it. If it happens, I'm great, fine, perfect,
Right.
whatever. But no, because I enjoy my own company and I can keep my own self company, entertained.
Right.
Before I entertain the foolishness. Because it's foolishness out there now. It's foolishness.
Yeah. That's what they saying. And a lot of people saying that clear across the board. Men and women.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, I can see where you're coming from about all of that. And you're right on certain things, the way of the world and how we are showing everything and nothing is forbidden anymore. I get it. It's hard on both sides. So I can understand why mentally people will do what they do on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just hard. It's just hard viewing it.
I get
it's hard.
Yeah.
Thing keep blinking off. Hold on. Okay. But yeah, George came on. He stirred it up a little bit before he got out of there. He in a new relationship, so that's a
I'm
good
happy.
thing. He never thought he would date again.
Yeah, I'm happy for him.
Yeah, because he went on a couple of bomb, crazy ass dates before he met this one. And that's why he said when he met her, he did something different. He didn't leave with, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm doing this, I graduated from there, I'm gonna be a therapist and all that. He didn't leave. He just said, hey, my name is George. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Right.
And being genuine and keeping it simple, he's enjoying the new him. And if you go back and look at some old episodes, especially beginning of last year, George was hell. She ain't gonna do nothing but that. I ain't got time for that. I was like, dang. They ain't this, they ain't that. They ain't gonna do nothing but use it for your money, then kick you out. He's like, dog, where he come from?
Who hurt you?
Yeah, who kicked him out the house? Who kicked him out the bed? He acting great. And then Austin will be on there bragging on his woman, and then George said, all right now. The minute you brag on him, I'm like, this dude. People used to be cracking up watching the thing back then. It was kind of weird with him being settled. I'm used to him going against, the whole love thing. He was that bitter brother.
Yeah.
And that's what made the podcast good, Boy was the bitter brother. But yeah, like you say, love over money. Everybody chose love on the panel tonight. And AJ, I'm gonna try to look for you now. You say Africa. I'm gonna try to look for you. You probably need to send me a text and make sure you.
I sent you a text. I sent you a text in your inbox.
Is it DJ Black?
To D Black.
You sure it's my page?
Do it say DJ Black or D Black?
I don't know.
It says D Black.
I know it's DEE.
Yeah.
And I got my DJ board behind my head. I got on a black shirt with red and white, with my red and white logo on. And I'm holding my DJ mixing board behind my head. Because if I would have seen it, I would have got it. So I didn't get it. So I don't think you sent it to the right one. Now I might have had an old page. You got to scroll down the page and make sure you see stuff about the podcast and my DJ mixing and stuff on there, an active page. Because I did have a page that got hacked that had over 5,000 some people on it, and it got hacked, and that page just shut down on me. And so I had to restart all over and rebuild this one. And while she goes and look for that page, we are out. Thank everybody for tuning in. Sorry for the technical difficulties we had earlier. But with that being said, DJ Black, Speak on It Podcast 2K25. We'll be back same time next week. Love over money. Everybody chose love, because love, you need a basic foundation. Then, if you want to get into the business relationships and all that, that's cool. But that foundation need to be laid with love. Because if the business fall under, one of you lose money or fall sick, if you have that love, it's there. So the panel chose love over finance. And if you find someone that's maintaining how they're living, have potential, 55K, it don't really matter, 40K, 55K, but the debt to income ratio under 30%, 20%, and they are able to take care and maintain their finances and help you with yours as well. If you're making your own money and you're able to take care of yourself, what difference does it make? So that's the thing with me. So it's love over money. Majority of the panel chose. So that's what side we leaned on tonight. Set the foundation with love and then look at the finances. Going into a relationship, looking for finance is the way you got in a relationship. 8 times out of 10 is the way you're going to get out of that relationship. So never base it on money, material things, because like I say, if that love's not there, that money leave, that person gone, whether it's male or female. That's what you got to look into. And then a lot of times, if that guy is making the 6 figures that everybody claim the females claim that a guy have to at least make, she's looking for a small pool of people, a very small pool of people. because it's only 6%. 6% of Black Americans make over 100K. And that's Americans, not a Black man. So that's a small percentage. So my thing is the money shouldn't really matter, especially if you feel like you comfortable making what you make and you can take care of yourself. You know, and like I said, when we say that, we're not saying he broke as a joke and can't rub two niggas together. We talking about a guy that's maintaining, working at his 55, 60 grand a year job, driving a nice vehicle, got a nice car, driving a good vehicle, got a nice house, taking care of himself. You know what I'm saying? He like nice things. That's what matters, and that he loves you, and vice versa. So that's where we're at. So get all that 6 figures out of your head, and I can get the 6 feet. I get all that social media stuff out your head, so you won't end up being lonely. That's what's gonna happen. Keep those thinking and that mentality. You're gonna end up lonely out here, because I hear this dating pool out there is hell. But then y'all making it worse by saying that a guy gotta have 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? To even be in a relationship with you, he gotta match what you make. Ain't about that. He should be able to, at least if he had to, take care of you guys and provide, but making that a standard goal that he has to make more than you, or 6 figures, whatever. Make your own money where you don't have to depend on somebody else making some money, if that's where you at. But on that note, we out. Panel chose love over money. Love foundation, money you guys build together. 55K you're building instead of going into a 100K plus relationship, because those 100K relationships, men have options. The 55K men have options, so you know damn well the 100K plus men, we have options. They have options. So what would make them want to be with you? You have to come with more than just looks and body, because that's all over now. What else are you bringing to the table? So if he got the money, you're gonna have to bring. He's gonna require more emotional. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna want more mental, because he has money. And then, like I say, the ones that's in relationships for business, a lot of those crumble because it's lacking love. It's lacking that emotional support. It's lacking that mental support. She wants to be loved, but he got a business deal he's trying to do. They're together for business. He sees her for the paycheck that's coming in to help maintain what they have going on, whether it's mortgage, cars, business ventures, you know. And I think that's kind of what's going on with the Frost thing on that Love and Hip Hop. It's a financial business arrangement, and they're catching all kind of hell, because when she get lonely or he get lonely, who do they go to? A lot of those business relationships, they have side people who they mess with because their husbands and wives are busy doing business. Those are your roommate relationships, because they're not actively sexually like that in the bedroom. So it's just something to think about. That happens a lot. Google it, read about it, talk to people about it that's in those business relationships. That's not something I would want to be in. But on that note, I'm out. Make sure y'all check me out Saturday night, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. TikTok, I'll be posting the video. Just go check it out. I'll post a link, click on the link, and check me out. Start out, I do about 5 genres. I start out with Afro beats. Then I turn it into the club. I may pick 2000s, 90s club scene, 80s club scene. And then I go into R&B. And then, after that, we go into the reggae. We do reggae, we do blues, and after the blues, I think we take it to the club. And after the club, we do the R&B, and after the R&B, I do those slow jams from back in the day, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, you know what I'm saying? The R. Kellys, the Guys, the Deborah Coxes. So just check me out. We go back, new edition. I'm gonna probably play some Johnny Gill this week. But just check it out. I'm gonna put together a nice little show. But that's TikTok on Saturday night, 9 p.m. Central, and that's 10 p.m. Eastern. So check me out. And on that note, Speak on It Podcast 2K25 coming to a close. Thank everybody for tuning in. George, get at me. AJ, holla. And on that note, I'm out next week. Hey.
What you think, man? I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now. Okay. And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it because I've always felt that this like monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Right. I don't understand why I have to only love one person or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard is supposedly is? Right.
And then the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. You know, I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, you know, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You know, you start thinking about, well, damn, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. So, you know, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, this complicates things for us men because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told don't do this.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we even thought, you know, why doesn't my father is that a protection for me? Right. Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
No, but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time, they are like absolutely. But if we don't understand that, all we know is a rejection.
You see, like what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was a run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. You know, at one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman, no matter what their social economical status was. White women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, you know, I know, you know, I mean, you hit it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So you
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. You know, it means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It me.
Right.
I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. You know, that's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, you know, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, you know. So there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, you know, men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids, and I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband.